Greetings and salutations. It's your boy D.Boom for LLE.Ascension, aka LLE Tarot. We are back with Divine Feminine situation first. Immediately after this, we're going to have the Divine Masculine situation. So, head, shoulders, knees, and toes rant. And then we will begin. I'm going to show the spread and then I'm going to start. So, head, that's swords. Thoughts, decisions, mentality, ideology. That's the direction you're going. That's the decisions you make. That's the head. Everything starts from here. Cups, that's shoulders. Cups are feelings and emotions. All feelings and emotions are just indicators on where you're going mentally. Your heart and mind must be aligned with everything that you do. Who rules the heart and mind department? The Divine Feminine, you can tell. Then we got wands. Wands are things you're doing or things you've done. Because what you've done has karma attached to it or accountability attached to it. What you're doing has karma attached to it or accountability attached to it. What you finna do don't really mean anything because you ain't did it at all. There's no accountability or karma to something you finna do or going to do. Who's the King of Wands? The Divine Masculine. So this is his territory, the Wands in the Pentacles arena. Pentacles are persons, places, and things. Things you can taste, touch, see, feel, and hear. All pentacles expire. All pentacles have an expiration date. And all pentacles are temporary. Why? Because we live in a temporary space and time. That's the third dimension. A temporary space and time where all things expire. Those things are pentacles. And Divine Masculine rules the Wands and Pentacles arena. So, I'll show you what the spread is and we will begin. Feminine in your direct energy. We got the Four of Pentacles coming into the situation. That's holding on. We have the Eight of Pentacles in regards to yourself. This is the feminine row. That's a life. Eight of Pentacles is a life. Your life in a card. We'll dive into that in a second. As far as the masculine energy, you directly, we got the Eight of Swords. This is a self-imposed prison, which we will dive into shortly. And going to the future directly, feminine, you got the King of Cups. This is the 1950s, 1960s dad. Tough love here. Now, the bottom row is your indirect energy, subconscious energy, or what I like to call your mystery madness. Coming into your mystery madness energy, we got the Five of Pentacles. That's the dark night of the soul. As far as the feminine energy, subconsciously, indirectly, we got the Two of Wands. This is survival or support, which is the Divine Masculine's role, which is the Two of Wands. Actually, your role came out here, Divine Feminine. This is an overall energy, which is fairly important. We got the Three of Wands. That's evolution. That's purpose. But more so, it's the Divine Feminine's role in this whole twin flame thing. Bottom line energy, which is very important. We got the Four of Wands again. That's twin flame union, reunion, or recognition, or home. We'll dive into that shortly. Wrapping up your masculine energy in your mystery madness or indirect role, feminine, we got the Two of Cups, which is the Lover's card. And going to the future in your mystery madness, subconscious, indirect energy, we got the Five of Swords. This is focus. So, let's get with it. First card, your message, we have your role, Divine Feminines, Three of Wands. Now, a lot of people ask me, what's the quickest way to union, reunion, and recognition? Which is the Four of Wands. It's the Three of Wands. It's a step process. If you on this is surely coming. Before we hit your role, Divine Feminine, we have the Divine Masculine's role, which is out here. And it's just a step process. We'll dive into it as it comes. But Three of Wands, this is all about evolution. Two of Wands is just making ends meet. This would be the equivalent to a job. This would be the equivalent to your path or your purpose. Everybody has a job to do. We have to make ends meet. Every person is making ends meet. This is how you feed yourself. This is how you feed your family. This is how you survive. This is what keeps you from living under a bridge like a troll, right? But in the midst of you making ends meet and doing what you have to do, you still have to add another action or behavior to the whole work process to really just do more than survive, to do more than just make ends meet. Birds, bees, bears, boars, bacteria, they do this. We're human beings. We're supposed to do more. Three of Wands is more. How it relates to your role, Divine Feminine, all the Three of Wands is just evolution. Feminines, you have to evolve. This is a lighthouse. Divine Feminine, you're the lighthouse at the edge of the bay. Divine Masculines, they're the ships heading to dock. But they don't know where to dock at unless the lighthouse is on. You know? Divine Feminine, you are the light that illuminates everything that your masculine has to know. You know what I mean? So it's crucial for you to be on this. You know, this is just doing more than the average person. This is doing more than what everybody else is doing. What makes a divine? It's your wands. That's why the Divine Feminine is represented by the Queen of Wands or Queen of Actions and Behavior. And Divine Masculines is represented by the King of Wands, the King of Action and Behavior. Not the King of Pentacles. That'll be a karmic masculine. Not the Queen of Pentacles. That'll be a karmic feminine. It ain't what you got that makes you great. You know, it's not what you have in your possession or your status or your place or pinnacle of life that makes you great. It's what you do that makes you divine. One crucial point that a lot of people, at least in this psychic community, don't really understand. It's your actions that count. It's what you're doing or what you've done, not what you finna do, because that don't mean shit. It ain't about how much money you got or your status in place. It's a lot of rich people who don't give back. Get all that money sitting on that shit like Scrooge McDuck, just swimming through coins all night. And instead of giving to the less fortunate or giving to the needy or the bottom line, which is more important than anything, the kingdom, this is heaven. Okay? Fourth, fifth dimension. It's infinite. It's where God dwells. It's where divines be. The Four of Wands is like Zion from the Matrix. The Four of Cups is the world or matrix we live in. A temporary space and time where all things expire. Everything is everlasting up here. There's a lot of people who aren't in tune with the kingdom. Being divine and being on your divine duties and evolving and ascending as a person gets you here. Not everybody is allowed here. Like the devil, Satan, and Lucifer, they're not even allowed in the fourth and fifth dimension. This is their dimension. This is their realm. This is their world. It's a limited space and time. They went from being celestial, infinite beings to temporary beings. That's what the world does. Okay? Four of Wands. Aside from being Zion, the real world, reality, this is twin flame union, reunion, and recognition. You notice that twin flame union, reunion, and recognition are wands. What are wands? Things you're doing or things you've done, not things you finna do because you ain't did it yet. In order to get here, it's going to take not only work, which is the two of wands, that's just half of it. You working on your twin flame situation, that's just half of it. You got to evolve in your twin flame demo, and that's the bulk of it. Overall bottom line energy, we're just going to keep it brisk. Coming into the situation, feminine, you directly, you got the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is holding on too tight to something or being afraid to let something go. It ain't just something. It could be some place or someone. You see how this looks like a box? That's what you're putting yourself in, holding on to anything, any person, any place. I told you. Pentacles. They expire. They're temporary. They have an expiration date. Pentacles get stolen, taken, traded, lost, damaged, removed, replaced. That's what happens with Pentacles, you know. So if you're holding on to any Pentacle, you trapped to that Pentacle. You gotta learn how to let things go. A job, a child, a place, or a Pinnacle. Pinnacle. It ain't the physical hold you got on whatever it is you're holding on to. It's the emotional hold, the spiritual hold, the mental hold. You understand what I'm saying? Putting smoke on this Four of Pentacles and why it's even out here, we got the Devil card. Yeah, it's a trap. You hold on to anything, like I said, it's got you. All right? So, if you're scared to let somebody go, then the Devil card is present. What's the Devil card? That's addictions. A drug got a hold on you, right? This could be overindulging. You're doing something in access. Thus, it has a hold on you. Devil card is being chained to someone or someone being chained to you, whether you notice it or not. You got a hold on someone or someone got a hold on you. This is being codependent, the devil is, on a person, place, or thing. It has a hold on you or you got a hold on it. This is also the devil card regression, backwards behavior. You holding on to something so tightly, you going backwards. You're supposed to be moving forward. We're supposed to be evolving here, Divine Feminine. This is like a big ankle weight that you chain to. You notice the devil card is like the devil and like a naked Adam and Eve. He's got them chained. You know what I mean? Let go of whatever you holding on to, because whatever this is, it got you. You can't stop chasing money. You can't stop chasing people. You can't stop chasing things. You got to have control, which is the devil card too. Controlling, trying to have a firm grip on something that probably ain't even yours. Like I said, pentacles are meant to come and go. You know, anytime you feel you got a hold on something or something has a hold on you, it's a trap. It's a box. And it's something you need to get out of. Since the Four of Pentacles is holding on too tight to something and being scared to let something go, it's only natural that the next step, this is you in your mystery madness or subconscious or indirect energy, we got the Five of Pentacles, the Dark Night of the Soul. All the Dark Night of the Soul is you going without something. Four of Pentacles, holding on too tight to something, being scared to let something go. Five of Pentacles, you're going to go without it. So you holding on to something that's finna let go anyway. You holding on to something that's finna be gone anyway, whether that's by choice or by force. That's why it's the Dark Night of the Soul, because you're going without whatever it is. Whatever that had a hold on you, you're going without it. It's like an addict going without a drug, going through withdrawals. You know what I mean? Like an addict or an alcoholic. Like I say, you holding on to a person, and this person leaves you, and you're going without them. That's part of the steps. Like, you're going to have to go without things. It's good to just let things go. And what I mean by letting things go is, like I say, just letting go of the hold of it. You know, I'm African American. So one thing my mother did when she gave birth to me and my twin sister, I came in the world with another person. Ain't like I was born by myself. I'm going to die by myself, but I came in this world with another person. And what my mother said that she do with all her kids is she give us the God. That's a normal thing in my family. My uncles did it with his children. My aunties did it with her children. You know, my grandma did it with my mother. You know, it's giving your child to God. Why? Because eventually this child is going to be an adult. And you can't hold on to a grown-ass kid. You can't hold on to a kid that's lost, that's on drugs, that's in the street, that's to the streets. You understand what I'm saying? My mother gave me to God soon I got here. Why? So she can automatically take that hold off. And just in case I crash and burn, died at an early age, kill myself, whatever your child does out here that you have really no control over. I mean, you control your kids until they get grown, but, you know, kids are changing and growing every single day. Like, some things you got to let go of. She didn't, like, literally give me over to the universe, but it's like a saying. It's a spiritual thing. My mother did. She was like, when you was born, I gave you to God. So whatever happens to you is in God's hands at the end of the day. Like, you know, I'm not trying to control you. I mean, she was on her business until I was like 17. All her children left the house at 17. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was very unorthodox. She's like Sarah Connor, Terminator 2 and shit. Mixed with a little Angela Davis. You know what I mean? But she always said that. She's like, I gave you to God a long time ago. So whatever happens to you, whatever you do, it's out of my hands. And I understood that. Clear. Hopefully you do too. Feminine role. You coming into the situation as far as yourself. We got your life. Eight of Pentacles is your life in a car. What's a life? That's shoes on your feet, clothes on your back, comfortable bed to sleep on. The four walls you call your home or your shelter. Four of Wands is also home. Four walls you call your sanctuary. Home is where the heart is. So it ain't really got to be your house that's a home. Another place can feel like home. Shoes on your feet, clothes on your back, comfortable bed you sleeping on, your cars in your life, your kids in your life, your job is in your life, God is in your life, hopefully. The twin flame is in your life. Your life is what you make it. Your life is comprised of many pentacles. Now check this out. You could be rich and famous and still not have a life of your own. And I know bums on the street that's living their best life. For real. Like I know a bum on the street that's doing more in life, that's giving more back to people in life than a rich and wealthy person. It ain't what you got in your life. It's what you got in your life, if that makes sense. Like I said, I know a lot of people who got a whole life full of pentacles that ain't even theirs. And they know this. They can't even claim it. So it's like they don't have a life because this ain't they shit. You feel me? Like, well, what's the bum on the street got? He's a bum. Man, that boy got himself. I am a walking, talking pinnacle. This body is a pinnacle. These eyes are pinnacles. You know what I'm saying? My heart, my brain, my health. Might be a bone with a dog. You know what I mean? And food for the night. That's a life. It's a bum on the street, I'm telling you. Doing better than a person who rich and wealthy is a motherfucker. Because life is what you make it. Just a lesson, feminine about life. You gotta start looking at life different. And guess what? Tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. So you gotta do whatever you gotta do in your life today. What you do today is gonna create a better tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You plan for tomorrow. You know, you want to live long enough. You want to keep your life, your body, which is a temple. It's a pinnacle. You only get one body. You only get one brain. You only get one mind. You only get one heart. You only get two pair of lungs, nigga. Two kidneys, man. You can live without a kidney. You can live without a lung, probably. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to appreciate everything pinnacle that you have in your life. You got to have an attitude of gratitude. Because there's a lot of bitter motherfuckers out here. And then you got a lot of people who just ready to die. Like Biggie Smalls. Thinking it's the end of the world when the shit ain't really hit the fan yet. Ready for spiritual suicide when we really ain't there yet. I got too much living to do before I die, and I ain't got time to waste. Let's get it. 50 Cent. As far as your subconscious to yourself, feminine, we got the Two of Wands. This is working. Making ends meet. Now, I was a little sore and shit. Just took that little jab and shit. You feel me? I had to do it for work purposes. I'm a caregiver and I'm around people who've, man, been married for 71 years. Been around people who been around for a long ass time. You dig what I'm saying? And I definitely didn't want to be the reason why they didn't live another 5 to 10, maybe 20 years. I don't agree with why I had to get this motherfucker, but I had to get it. I mean, it's called life. I respect life. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the motherfucker to take life away from this motherfucker. So when it comes to work, hey, I had to do what I had to do. I'm just noticing a lot of people who ain't doing this, who ain't working, that's really spiritual. Like you really in a hall full of COVID. And you a nurse taking care of people. I've been a nurse off and on for about 10 to 15 years. Shit. So I'm in the healthcare industry. And I'm working my ass off, man. I really ain't got time to do my fucking channel. So many people not working out this bitch. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody got to be in the front lines. It's like a war. You got the people in the front line, and usually them is God-fearing people. Usually them people are God. You know what I mean? Oh, we care about our lives. Motherfuckers in the front line care about their lives, but at the end of the day, it ain't just about our lives. One thing working does, it brings humility to you. Especially when you're working for somebody else. Especially when you're taking care of somebody else. All I be talking about with my patients and shit. They just find it highly strange that motherfuckers can sit at home and not work and get paid more than people who working. Especially with their lives on the line. Especially when they mandated to do shit they don't want to do either. But hey, it's just a big disconnect about work these days. I mean, I'm guessing it's the PPP checks. I'm guessing it's these stimulus packages. I'm guessing it's all this motherfucking free money flowing around this bitch. Or everybody and their mama trying to manifest some shit. You know? Since it's a lot of motherfuckers not working, it's a lot of motherfuckers on YouTube. A lot of motherfuckers on YouTube now. This fucking spiritual community is oversaturated with motherfuckers doing this. They ain't doing this. LLE.Ascension is a 3 of wands for me. It is not a job. I got a job. I'm like a pastor. I go to work, and then I still got to take care of the church. Still got to take care of the faithful few. Still got to do my thing for y'all. Work. You can't knock a motherfucker for working. You can't knock a motherfucker for doing what the fuck they got to do to make ends meet around this bitch. It's only the people who ain't doing this who got a lot to say about this. I'm telling you, I find it highly strange, man. These motherfuckers out here ain't working. All they talk about is doom and gloom. They got enough time, because you ain't working, to just do random videos about anything. To be like a literal news channel for current events and random shit. You know? It's a lot of motherfuckers with a lot of time on their hands. I think because they ain't working. Now, I'm not shitting on the motherfucker who ain't working. But if you ain't working, that's a choice thing. I mean, you can look around. It's help wanted signs every motherfucking way. So a lot more people should be doing this, but a lot of people ain't. Uno momento. Hey, I'm doing some readings. I'm gonna have to call you right back. Give me about an hour, okay? All right. I went to work at 8:30 this morning. You understand me? I ain't get home till 9 o'clock. And I still gotta do this though. You feel what I'm saying? Work. We ain't bragging about working. What you want, a cookie? Nah, it's just something that need to be done. You see the help wanted signs, Joe. For people that's working. You see we picking up everybody else hours who just gave up on this shit. Man. Work. Something you gotta do. But at the same time, you still gotta find time to do more. Especially if you calling yourself a divine. The masculine role. Feminine, you got the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is a self-imposed prison. It's a mental prison. So it's an invisible prison. And don't nobody know you in this prison but you. What's a self-imposed prison? It's a false sense of security. You insecure until you get secure. What I'm pretty sure a Pentacle is going to make you secure. You're really secure without it, but you feel you need a person, place, or thing to be mentally secure. That's a self-imposed prison. A mental prison, invisible prison that only you in. That can't nobody see you in but yourself. And if you got in that motherfucker and you don't know how you got in it, well, you got in. So if you got in, you can get out. That's something you're going to have to mentally figure out. What's a self-imposed prison? That's a false sense of entitlement. I told you, entitlement, that's that bullshit. If a person steals from you, they felt entitled to do so. If a person beat the brakes off your ass, they felt entitled to do so. If a person cheats you, steal from you, whether that's money or an idea, or steal a job from under you, they felt entitled to do it. If a person does you wrong, if a person chooses to cheat, if a person acting motherfucking crazy and making up every excuse in the world why they're crazy instead of wanting to just get to the wands part of it and modify their actions and behavior to where they ain't got to act the way they act. That's a self-imposed prison. Entitlement. That's what's fucking people up. A lot of people feel entitled to not work. A lot of people feel entitled to not do more than work. A lot of people feel entitled to hold on to the things that they hold on to. Chained to a devil and shit. And a lot of people, because it's a mental thing, feel entitled to feel like shit. To go through a permanent dark night of the soul. I hear it all the time, man. God must be punishing me. Why? I don't do shit like that. God must be trying to plague me or teach me a lesson. I mean, he might be trying to tell you something, but God don't put you through no bullshit. You put yourself through bullshit. You are your worst enemy. I hear people say it all the time. I think it's some spiritual. I think the devil's trying to fuck my shit up. Don't give the devil no fucking power. That nigga, devil, Satan, and Lucifer, 3 different people from 3 different places with 3 different agendas, have no power, dominion, or authority over you unless you give it to them. Well, why do that? Like, why? They have no authority or dominion over you. Them ain't the motherfuckers you need to be worried about. The motherfucker you need to be worried about is yourself. You are your worst enemy. You could do more damage to yourself than any fucking entity that ain't even physically near you or with you or have no power, dominion, or authority over you. Fear God, though, because, you know, without him, none of this shit is possible. So at the end of the day, self-imposed prisons, you're going to have to really get a clear-cut decision on what this is. And since this falls in the masculine energy, that means something. So a lot of you feminines are in self-imposed prisons, and when it comes to your masculine, what's a self-imposed prison? It's an invisible prison. You're the only one in it. Your masculine can't see you in this mental bind. You ain't saying nothing. It's like you expect somebody to read your mind. They can't read your mind. A person cannot read your mind or your emotions. They can read your actions, though. That's all a person can go off of, your actions and behavior. That's it. And the final card to this self-imposed prison bit is what I like to call the Boogeyman Effect. So, you know, remember we was a kid and we used to put the blankets over our head when we was scared. Like the blanket had like some magical power that was going to protect us from the boogeyman or monster under our beds, or you know, the thing in your closet or in the dark that you kind of felt uneasy with. But in reality, you know what I mean? Four wands. In reality, if boogeyman was real, it would just peel the covers back and do whatever boogeyman do to kids. If it really was a monster under your bed, like, he would just attack you from under the bed. He'll just pull you from the top of the bed under that motherfucker. He'll just reach through the bed and snatch you up. Like, thank God it's a mental prison. You know what I mean? Subconscious, indirect, mystery, madness role in regards to this masculine energy. We got the Two of Cups. This is the Lover's card. This is your heart and the heart of somebody else. This is a ship. Friendship, relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Partnership. Whether it's business or pleasure. Romance or a family. This is you and your child. Has to be a connection there. Guess what, though? Like attracts like. So whoever you're in a relationship with, you two got something in common. Emotionally. What are emotions? Or our feelings. They're just indicators on where you're going mentally. But before you can even get in a shit with somebody, you need to get your shit together. You got to know what love is before you call yourself loving somebody else. Because this person might not love you at all, but you can still be okay because you got unconditional love for self. Thus, you can love another person unconditionally. And if you're loving anybody, it needs to be unconditional. Just in case they don't love you. Just in case they don't give this love back. Just in case they ain't who they say they are. Understand what I'm saying? Understanding. You got to know who you are. Why? So you can understand a person like yourself. If you're divine, then you should be able to see another divine in front of you. Or if they're karmic, or a catalyst, or a false twin flame, or some shit like that. Aside from understanding, you're going to have to Ace of Cup, which is self-care. You got to take care of yourself. Because if you know how to take care of yourself, then you can learn how to take care of somebody else. It all starts with self. So, if you're in a relationship, feminist, then if you love yourself, then no matter if this person loves you or not, if they come or they go, you're going to be fine. You got to know who you are, so just in case you never find a person like yourself, you know who the fuck you are. Point blank, period. Wrapping this reading up. Going to the future feminine directly, consciously, you got the King of Cups. It's the highest form of emotion you can be on. It's the emotion to say fuck it to any and everything that ain't about the kingdom. K for kingdom. This is the kingdom. Four Wands. Like I say, besides twin flame union, reunion, and recognition, this is Zion. This is reality. This is the fourth and fifth dimension, the real world. This third dimension, I'm telling you, it's a temporary space and time where all things expire. This world is a matrix. It's a plantation. It's a crab bucket. It's a Sims game. Or it could be a fucking simulation the whole time. Like at the end of the day, you gotta be focused on your kingdom. That's the kingdom of God. And that's your personal kingdom, whatever it might be. This is a 1950s, 1960s dad, aka the tough love card in my deck. And just like a 1950s, 1960s dad, how do they move? They go to work, they're providers, they take care of their family. You know, they're not at the point in life where they're selfish and do whatever the fuck they want to do. Nah, it ain't about what the fuck they want to do. They're providers. You know what I mean? They got to do what they got to do. Take care of their family. Take care of their children. These bills ain't going to pay themselves. You know what I mean? The money for college ain't just going to appear. You know what I mean? Insurance in case a kid break a bone or somebody need a molar pulled or somebody gets sick. Like that's what the King of Cups does. They do selfless acts of servitude for their family, which reside in their kingdom. He's the king, right? You know, and a king just serving his family. A king serving his country. It ain't just doing what he does for his people. It's doing what he does for the kingdom. Now, this is tough love. The tone that you see, this energy that I see, you know, the non-swag. I ain't got shit in the background that's catching your attention to keep your ass here on this message and shit. I ain't got no graphics that grabs your ADD ass. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't have to put no sexy ass motherfucker title just to get you over here. Like, it's like Cheerios with no sugar or fruit. You know what I mean? It's good as is. You don't need to, you know, what I like to call fluff up shit. You know, a King of Cups, a tough love person is gonna keep it real. They ain't finna tell you a beautiful lie. They gonna tell you the ugly truth. You know what I'm saying? A person in this energy ain't trying to be down like Brandy. They could give two squirrel farts. How you feel, they making you feel some shit. Like I said, you got real motherfuckers and you got fake motherfuckers. There's a lot of fake motherfuckers out here. A lot of people who just want to butter shit up and sound like they doing shit. Or make it seem like they know things when they don't know a damn thing. A person like this energy can see straight through bullshit. A person in this energy know what's important and know what's not important. It's about the kingdom. If it ain't your personal kingdom, then it's the kingdom of God. What's the kingdom of God? Kingdom of God, it's always a child who's lost that you can bring in, that you can guide, that you can mentor, that you can be of service to. It ain't gotta be your own fucking children. It's just like I said, that more shit. 201s. That's how you take care of your family. It's people outside your family that need help too. It's elderly people out here that can use your time, energy, and resource. Because they ain't got nobody. It's a homeless person that you can help find shelter in this cold ass winter. You know, somebody that's hungry that you can feed right now. There's always work to be done. You know, work, 201s. There's a lot of work to be done. You know, don't be like this swag and energy of people who just think that not working is a thing and that you can do that. Like, nah, they can do that shit. You probably can't. Especially if you divine and all. But yeah, tough love. You gotta be tough. Can't sugarcoat shit. Can't enable people. How the fuck they gonna change if you enable them? You can call that shit caring or being kind or being Christ-like or you butter that shit up all you want. Let's just keep it real here. That's called enabling. You enable a person who ain't trying to change themselves, and if anything, you being detrimental to this person, and you wasting time, energy, and resources in the process. A person in this energy know how to call a spade a spade. The final card in this message, we got the Five of Swords. This is you, feminine, going to the future in your indirect energy or subconscious energy. This is focus. You got to focus. Feminine's on what matters and what don't. On what's important and what ain't. On what's needed and what's unfucking necessary. It's mental, focusing on something. You wouldn't pull back a gun, like cock a gun and shoot it without aiming, without focusing on what you're trying to shoot. You can kill people like that. It's like you pick up a javelin spear and just throw it in a random ass direction. And you don't know where you threw that motherfucker. You could hurt somebody doing that shit. It's like you just throw a penny off the Sears Tower. Just with no regards to whoever at the bottom. You know, you gotta focus. Focus is mental. You know what I mean? What you really need to focus on is everything in this reading. You gotta focus on your path and your purpose, on evolving, and not being like everybody else out here in this rat race who just trying to make ends meet and doing everybody greasy to do that. You gotta focus so you ain't holding on too tight to shit that you gotta let go. Anyway, because we got the Five of Pentacles here, the Dark Night of the Soul. And even when you're going through the Dark Night of the Soul, don't put too much focus on lack and scarcity. Focus on what you do have. You need to focus on the things, people, places, and things in your life. You need to focus on your job. When you're working, you got to stay focused, especially now. It's some jobs that if you ain't focused, it's gonna be detrimental. Whether you driving a forklift or you a longshoreman, you know what I'm saying? Handling heavy machinery around this motherfucker. Like, you're gonna have to focus on this self-imposed prison some of y'all in. And know that if you got yourself in this shit, you can get yourself out. But you gotta focus. You gotta focus on loving yourself unconditionally. You gotta focus on people who don't love themselves, people who ain't taking care of themselves, people who ain't who the fuck they say they are. Like I said, you need to focus because you need to see a divine in front of you when they're in front of you. You need to be able to see a divine a mile away. You need to be able to see a karmic from a mile away. You need to be able to see the devil a mile away. You need to be able to see God if God was standing right next to you. And don't put too much focus on this King of Cups energy. You're just gonna hurt yourself. Focus though, feminine. That's the message that I got. Hope I can be a good use. It's your boy D.Boom. Please stay tuned for the next message coming up shortly. 1.